Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
One of the most ungrateful wives I have ever seen on TikTok. Which is saying a lot, right? Which is saying a lot. You know what? I'll take it even a step further. One of the most ungrateful wives I've ever seen, even on planet Earth, gets instant karma. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Hey guys.
What's up?
So married woman goes to TikTok. She gets millions of views on numerous videos trying to basically put her husband on blast because he's building a brand new home for them. But she didn't like the fact that her father-in-law sent a text message asking her if she can clean up and basically have everything ready for them for the next day so they're ready to go. I don't think what happened next was really what she anticipated. Let's see.
I'm a little pissy. I get this text from my father-in-law. My father-in-law, not my husband. My father-in-law. I get this.
All right, so I'm going to read the text for you guys because you can barely see it and I can barely see it myself, but let's check it out. So let's set the scene real quick. She gets home and she gets a text from her father-in-law and it reads, "When you get home tonight, I need you to clean off all the kitchen counters, put the tools in the utility room, put the trash on the front porch, and sweep and vacuum all of the hard surface floors." He goes on to say that would help Jake and I for tomorrow. Jake, I'm assuming, is her husband. Thank you very much in advance. You're the best. So her husband and her father-in-law need a little bit of help tidying up after they just finished building a house.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Drink that coffee for a little bit. Let's get back into it.
Mind you, I did not build this house. My husband and my father-in-law built it. Mainly my husband.
She's letting us know that she didn't build the house, right? Like we were going to assume she built it. Thanks for the clarification, lady. Let's keep watching.
I am very grateful for that. But this is what I come home to after working an entire shift on my feet all day that I now have to clean, even though I did not make this mess. Look at it. I now have to pick up everything off the floor, all of it. I have to clean this entire island, put all of their tools away, clean the entire, all this, everything off the floor. I have to get all of this. This is sawdust because they decided to cut things inside my house.
They just built this chick a house. Her husband just built this chick a house and she's here. This modern woman is here complaining about tidying up and cleaning. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. This is a real scenario. These are not paid actors. This coffee smells like shit.
This coffee smells like shit.
And I have to get this all done tonight before my husband gets home so I can spend time with him. Last night I did not clean the house. You guys really opened my eyes and made me see that like this was not my problem. It's not my thing. There's so much. I met my husband last night and told him that I was really pissed off. So I get home today and this is what I come home to. A fully cleaned house. They have a little bit of stuff right here, but that's fine.
She says, "It's not my problem." And then she goes on to say that she actually complained to her husband the whole night about how it's not her problem. And voila, the place was clean. And I think what's even crazy about all this is to add insult to injury. Not only is she one of the most ungrateful wives on the planet, she's also on TikTok kind of bragging about the situation, saying, yeah, I told him I didn't want to do it and it wasn't my problem. And so I didn't have to do it, right? And she's showing off that the husband and the father-in-law probably cleaned the place. I'm sorry, man. I'm just blown away by this story. I apologize for pausing it every second, but this shit is just wild.
That's it. They organized all their tools and I didn't have to do a single thing.
And you're proud of that.
Either they got the message that was super disrespectful, or they think I'm completely incompetent and they won't ever ask me to do anything again. Either way, win for me.
Cow. Bruh.
This is the update. It's not a good one. It's not a fun one. It actually really sucks. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We had
Let's cue in the violin music, please, for this emotional moment. Pour up a cup of coffee for myself. And action.
a long conversation a couple days ago, my husband and I, and we've come to the conclusion that the best thing for both of us is for this to end. So we are getting a divorce. We've been separated.
Let's go. Man knew his value. The man knew his value. He dropped her. He dropped her fast, not slow. That's what I'm talking about, man. On this day, she drank some coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
For the past couple days, obviously. We just have to put the legal actions into motion.
Oh,
But yes, we are getting a divorce.
we're so surprised. How did we not see this coming, everybody? I can't believe this story. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of every time you ask a modern woman today, most women today, you ask them like, hey, can you cook and clean? What is their response in most cases? They'll say, can you build a house? And I've always thought that's a really unfair question. I mean, you're comparing making a sandwich and, you know, cooking and cleaning to building a house. You cannot compare those two things, but women will say, well, I will not be traditional. I will not fulfill my traditional roles because you can't build a house. And they don't understand that building a house is not as simple as most people think. If you've done any part of construction with homes, you know there's plumbing, there's like laying the foundation, there's interior. It takes a lot of work and skill to build a home. But to all the women that say, can you build a house? Here we have a situation where a man who can build an actual house is dealing with a modern woman. And do we see anything different? First of all, I would never compare the two, but just for conversation's sake, here you go. You have it. Here's a guy who built a house for his family, who he loves, and has an ungrateful wife and made the right decision in cutting her off. Listen, guys, as always, we're going to check out some of these comments. Let's see what the people have to say. First comment here comes from a gentleman, and it says, so he wanted the divorce, but she's saying it's best for both of them. Feels like it was a long time coming based on this 3-minute video. 600 likes on that. We got another person that responded to that comment and said there were likely other issues. Yeah, I agree. If that there was an issue, if that woman had that level of entitlement, then there were most likely other red flags that unfortunately he overlooked. He should have seen this. No one just starts out being this entitled out of nowhere. Comment goes on to say, before building, everyone's roles and responsibilities should have been discussed. Facts. The marriage probably sucked. That's true. You want to make sure you discuss everything before getting into any relationship, what you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept, deal breakers. It's very important that those roles are defined and they're agreed upon so that when you run into issues like this, as a guy, then you have some ground to stand on with the woman who you're dealing with. Next, someone else added to this thread and said, yeah, the marriage sucked because of her. The last comment added to this thread reads, she said it that way because she isn't even taking responsibility of her actions. That's true. Nowhere did she say I was wrong and I wish I didn't react in that way. She didn't admit that. Again, good decision on the husband. Our next comment comes from a woman and it reads, if he not divorcing her, his dad would knock down the house. That's true. I bet you there was a conversation had man to man between father and son about just how ungrateful his wife was. I think that's what most likely happened. What do you guys think happened between her saying, no, I'm not going to do it, and then this whole thing resulting in the divorce? Comment down below. Another comment here reads, the moment she said my house, not our house, I hoped he left her. Yeah, there's a certain princess mentality this type of woman has where she believes she deserves to not only have the best that the world has to offer, but also not have to work for it. As in, it's not my responsibility, but still, this is my house. I shouldn't have to do anything. That's entitlement. That's this princess mindset that is actually very, very toxic. We've got another comment here from a gentleman that says, I think the worst part is not that she didn't want to do it, but that she shared it with the whole world. Yeah, what was that? Gossiping about her husband on social media, 5,000 actually plus likes. I wouldn't be surprised if the husband actually didn't know that she was talking about that situation on her TikTok. Just way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. Social media will be responsible for breaking up a lot of relationships and marriages. You have to have a social media rule if you're in a relationship today, just because the need for attention when it comes to these apps can be really detrimental to your relationship and your marriage. This is something guys have to think about now. Is your chick very involved in social media? Does she know how to separate personal life from business? If she does include her personal life on social media, then are you prepared to deal with the consequences of whatever may come of that? Next, we have another comment here that says, my views changed when I realized hubby was building their home and going to work afterwards. Think about that, man. Think about that. Building a house and then going to work afterwards. She's refusing to pick up, to clean up, and do the bare minimum that's associated with the whole process of building the house. Another guy here says she could have told the truth. Her husband seen the video. Like, I said that. He didn't like it. She tried to double down. Yes, because what happens? What happens is women will go online and they'll share a situation like this, and they're not going to have women holding them accountable. They're having women saying, yes, girl, you are a queen. You shouldn't lift a finger if he knows what's best for him. They all think they deserve the world. You don't have to break your back. That's a man's job. If he didn't do it out of his heart and he expects you to pitch in some shape or form, then it's not real love. You have this echo chamber, which is probably what happened to her, of women feeding that delusion. And the last thing someone like this would do is go back on there and apologize. No, they're going to double down on it. And then the last part of this comment says he wasn't having it, and that resulted in the divorce. Finally, our last comment here reads, oh, he got the message all right, and she even said he won't ask her to do anything again, not realizing it means she won't be around. Listen, this was a good example of a man valuing himself and deciding enough is enough. He could have endured more of this level of entitlement in a relationship. I don't know if it was his dad who had influence and wisdom and he decided to listen to that, or he just had enough. Either way, good for him. And if you're ever in a situation like this, with this level of ungratefulness from a woman who refused to change, leave fast, not slow. As always, man, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.